questions today.
Yeah, a lot of them went unanswered.
Hey guys, this is Bradley with Semantic Mastery. Today is Masterclass week number 29. Got Adam and Marco with us. What's up, Adam?
Heyo.
What's up, Marco? Hello, Marco?
Yeah, hey everybody. Sorry
Marco,
about that.
Polo.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can.
All right, cool.
All right, we got a lot to go through. For anybody that was not on Hump Day Hangouts, just a couple short announcements. RYS Academy, we're launching public next week. Remember, it had been just basically an internal launch to just our subscribers, and it still is to this point until next Tuesday. We are offering a 10% discount right now as a kind of a last chance to get in before full retail price next week. So if you're interested, I highly recommend that you get in now before it goes to full price next week, because as of next Tuesday, no questions asked, it's full price, unless you're a Mastermind member, and in which case you get a 30% discount. But for everyone else, it's going to be full price, and no whining is going to help. So also, we have the contest. We have the URL for the contest. If you guys want to enter the contest, we're going to be giving away one seat, I guess, for RYS Academy. So we'll give one away for whoever wins the contest as first prize. Second prize is going to be 1 month of Mastermind membership, and the third prize would be IFTTT SEO Academy, which you guys all have. But we could probably substitute something for it if that was the case, and you won third place. So I'm going to post this link.
I just posted all that stuff.
Okay, cool. Adam already beat me to it. Thank you, Adam. So go check it out, guys, if you want. Otherwise, you don't have to. It's entirely up to you. But just wanted to throw that out there. All right, so
real quick, before we get started, Kendrick was asking, any news on the Twitter SEO course? And I'll just say that it's coming. The timeline's shortening, but no set date yet.
Yeah, that's coming soon, guys. It's real soon. In fact, we're probably going to be adding some additional training as kind of like an upgrade to it, which Mastermind members are going to get it anyways. But anybody else, it'll probably be an upsell. Possibly, we're working on developing a course for Periscope right now as well. So hopefully we'll have all that done at the same time so that they can all launch at the same time. But it's going to be shortly. I don't want to say a week to 10 days because chances are we won't hit that deadline, but it's going to be very soon. Okay.
Well, we're cutting the videos for Twitter SEO Academy.
Yeah.
And that's so that we can have that ready for when RYS Academy goes public, or the public launch.
Okay.
So Saturday I'll have a better idea of when they'll exactly be ready, but they should be.
I sure would like to get the other upgrade training done by then, but I don't think it'll be done by Tuesday, so might have to just hold off on that. Anyways, Masterclass Affiliate Case Study Week number 10. Today we're going to go through just a couple other parts of this that we hadn't covered before. By the way, questions are supposed to be, I guess that's correct. It's week 10. Yeah, okay, sorry. Questions are welcome as we cover this, guys, as long as they pertain to what we're talking about, okay? Because random questions are going to be ignored, and if we have time at the very end, we will cover any random questions. But if you have questions specific to the training for today, then by all means post them. We got just some, really quickly, we're going to go over ad campaign review from what we set up last week so that you guys can see some of the numbers on that. And then today we're going to be setting up a broad campaign, which we hadn't done yet. We had really pretty much just done everything based on our particular product, which is fine. It's good to set up a bunch of these little streams of traffic, but I wanted to go after some broader stuff to get more traffic coming in quickly to try to build that list faster, because to this point it's been building slow. It's been building steady, which I'm okay with, but not fast enough. I want to get faster results from it, so we're going to go with some broad phrases today. We're going to walk through a setup of that campaign. And also, remember I mentioned last week that we were going to be talking about, we're going to do, when we set up the campaign for the broader keywords, the more industry-related keywords instead of product keywords, we're also going to set up an in-display ad this time, as well as an in-stream ad. Thus far, all we've done is in-stream ads. So today we're going to set up an in-display as well, so that you guys can see that process. Then there's some additional content ideas that I have already started to work on developing. In fact, I found one today that I thought I'm going to share with you guys later on in this presentation. I'll share it with you. But I highly recommend that you go check it out. And I've got some other plans that I'm going to talk about as well. So, okay, so the ad campaign review. Let's go into AdWords. Let's go take a look. All right, so you guys see I have some of the ones that we set up last week was the Slight Edge. I believe that's what we worked on last week was the Slight Edge. We had done the 10x rule the week before. The Eat That Frog was the week before. But you can see that I have some traffic coming in from these. My conversions are not registering, guys, because remember, this is not going straight to an opt-in page. These are going to a blog post. So in other words, the traffic, the ad when clicked, when the link is clicked within the ad, it takes them to a blog post, the product review. So if they choose to opt in from that point, then they opt in, and then it goes to a thank you page. So the conversions are not being tracked for that, okay? But you can see that I've had, view rate is fairly good, 17.35% for the Slight Edge placements, and then I've had, 8 clicks through. So that's not too bad. The click-through rate, I mean, it could be better, but that's not bad considering it's a new ad, and some of that could probably be a little bit refined. Also, you can see that I had the Slight Edge keywords right here. This one was getting a little bit better results. We had the view rate was a little bit lower, but the click-through rate was a little bit higher. But haven't spent a lot of money. This one was running at like $5 a day for like 3 days or 4 days before I dropped it down to $2 a day. However, I do want to show, if we go look at Get Response, you can see the growth training for the last 7 days. And remember, I had to shut off for a few days. Haven't had a lot of. I reduced my ad spend on a lot of these just because some of them I wasn't producing that well, and because I'm running traffic back to the blog instead of direct to an opt-in page, I wanted to just keep that very, very small. Okay, so you can see that in the last 7 days I've had 7 subscribers to growth training. Okay, so that's not too bad. That's 1 per day, but considering that I'm bringing traffic back to the site. And that's really what I'm trying to do right now is just kind of establish the site. I want to build this list a lot faster, though, and that's what we're going to be doing today. But I just wanted to kind of go over a couple of these to show you that. All right, some of them are producing better than others, but today we're going to actually be building the ad direct to an opt-in page. I set up another opt-in page today that's got specific messaging for the keywords that we're targeting, and so we're going to walk through that as well. So let me go back over to the slides for a moment. So that we just reviewed the ads for the Slight Edge, the ad campaign setup, the broad campaign. All right, so for this, we're going to run through some of the steps that we've run through before. We're just going to do it very quickly because I think this is just kind of review at this point. But keyword research, let me show you the keyword workbook. This is the keyword workbook that I guess I hadn't grabbed the placement URLs. I'll have to log in the TubeSift and get them. Just one moment. All right, so while that's loading, all right, so I had already done the keyword research for this. I've been adding to this for weeks now. Whenever I have to do some additional keyword research, I just continue to add to this. This is just a Google Doc that I use as a spreadsheet. And remember, I'm just targeting YouTube keywords, not Google keywords. Okay, so I'm using Power Suggest. Right here is Power Suggest. Let's just clear that. And I set it for YouTube. And then I put my keyword in, my seed keyword, which is up here at the top. Then I let it spit out the results, and then I copy and paste them in. And those are YouTube suggest keywords, okay? So what I've done is I've got like personal development was my seed keyword here. These are all the suggested phrases for YouTube: personal growth, personal goals, leadership development. And interesting because some of the keywords, I find out aren't necessarily related to what I want. So I just keep that on the sheet to remind me. But there's some of them that aren't all that. Something that I don't really want to target. But so the ones that we're targeting today are going to be personal development, which is very broad. It's the one that gives the most results. All right, so that's why we're setting this one up. So I want to show you, not only do I have the keywords here that we can set up some keyword. There's a few of them that need to be filtered out, which I had not done yet. So we might not set up a keyword campaign today. We might just do the placements because I had not had a chance to clean this yet. But I do want to show one other thing really quickly, just as a side note. We set up the slide edge placement with keywords, for example. I was noticing in some of the funnels that I have for Semantic Mastery, or the ads that I have set up for Semantic Mastery, that I was using keywords. I was using phrase match. And guys, I don't know if you remember last week when we set up a keyword campaign, I told you that originally I had been using broad match and I was unaware of that, and so I pissed a whole bunch of money away. Like, I mean, a lot of money away earlier this year in ads because my ads were being displayed in front of videos that had nothing to do with the subject matter of my ad. But because I was using broad match and I wasn't aware of it. So I found out that if you put things in quotes, then it becomes phrase match. If you put them in brackets, they become broad match. Well, I've had some really good success with some of my smaller funnels that I set up using phrase match. But I recently, within the last week, have set up several ads for Semantic Mastery, and I was using broad match, or not, excuse me, phrase match on a couple of them, and they were still being displayed in front of a ton of videos that were unrelated. So just today, I actually went in and I reworked some of those campaigns to use exact match only, which means the keywords are in square brackets instead of in quotes. And so I don't have any results yet to report because I just did that today. I need to let the ads run for a few days and then go back again and see where the ads were placed to see if that has an effect. But just keep in mind, I'm just telling you this because if you're running YouTube ads right now, you got to always go back in and check your stuff. And for example, let me just show you. If I go over here and go to the slide edge keywords, I'll click on that ad. You can see my traffic has increased, right, every day. But if we come over here and click on targets, and then we'll see if here are the targets here. In this case, it was a keyword list. And so if I click on keywords, this is the targets that I set, and you can see that I have my keywords in quotes. Okay, so and this is a very specific keyword. Because it's a product keyword. So the results have been good with this particular list. But when you go with more general keywords, broader type keywords, even in phrase match, apparently they don't work near as well. I'm not going to show you our funnel stuff, but for Semantic Mastery, because that's not part of this training. But I just wanted to make you aware. These are the keywords that are in phrase match. This is the keywords that I added to be selected, so to be targets. In other words, my video will show anytime somebody does a search for one of these keywords and they click on a video that's monetized, my video should show in front of it. But if we go take a look at the actual where your ads were shown and we click on placements, you'll see that these are where they were placed. So there's a couple of them in here that aren't really all that related, and this is just an example. If I showed you, again, because we're using very specific product keywords, the results are still fairly good for using phrase match keyword targeting. If I was to show you some of the stuff from using broader type keywords as the targets, you'll see that even as phrase match, you'll see that the placements are awful. Okay, and I don't know why they're so bad still with YouTube. So I'm testing exact match now for the first time. Like I said, that's what I set up. But if you can see, most of these are fine. But the last two right here, my videos have been showed in front of easy zippered box pouch tutorial. What? That doesn't make any sense, right? I mean, how does that at all have anything to do with this keyword list? Does that make sense? Are you guys understanding where you know what I'm talking about here? So this is my keyword target list, and somehow for whatever reason, my video was shown in front of, my ad was shown in front of top 5 favorite books, an easy zippered box pouch tutorial. So my point is that just be careful with phrase match. Make sure that if you're spending money, make sure that you go in every 2 days, 3 days, whatever, and go take a look go to targets, click on your ad first from the main dashboard, click on your ad, then click on targets, and then come over here and look at where your ads were shown and look at placements, and that way you can see where they've been placed and you can find out if you need to refine your targeting group. That's what I'm saying. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and click that as exclude placements. So now those have been added to my negative placements, which means that shouldn't be shown in front of there again. Right? Alright, we'll move on. Okay, so as far as this is concerned, these are the keywords. If I was going to set up keyword to ad group today or a keyword targeting group, I would use this. However, again, there's several of them in here, like personal development videos in Hindi, whatever. Those all have to be cleaned out, and I did not get a chance to clean those out. So instead, we're just going to set up a placement list today, which is fine because today I wanted to go through setting up an in-display ad as well as an in-stream. All right, so the personal development target URLs, I'm going to come in here to TubeSift. I spent, I don't know, about an hour today building a targeting list, a placement list for personal development, which is the broad terms. And here's the placement list for personal development right here. If I get links, there's only 105 videos. I say only 105, but a lot of these videos, guys, some of these videos have hundreds of thousands of views. Some of these videos have tens of thousands of views. Many of them have thousands of views. So my point is that it's only 105 videos, but they get a lot of traffic. Okay, so these are really good. Again, in targeting SEO stuff for semantic mastery, building the targeting list there, I mean, we're lucky to find videos that have a few thousand views. Most of the time it's in the hundreds of views, and a lot of the times they're between 200 to 500 views. So those, you know, it takes much more time to build. You have to build a much bigger targeting list in order to get the traffic from those kind of, but this particular industry, personal development, like they get a shit ton of views. So the targeting list can actually be smaller and you still drive a lot of traffic. If that makes sense. So you can see I've got 105 videos in this personal development that I refined. I went through and filtered them, and I spent, like I said, about an hour today building this list out, and it's not near done. Let me just show you an example. I'll start building the ad in a minute. But that was going through TubeSift and just building a targeting list using personal development as the seed keyword. I did it in quotes. All right, and I went through and I set it to 300 results, and I think it came back with 230 results. And I went through and I cleaned it out, and it ended up with about 85 videos that were relevant, 85 relevant videos. Then I went and I put in personal growth, and I went through, because if you take a look at this, personal growth was my next column over. This returned like 100 and some odd videos, and I think I only got about 30 videos out of there that were worth it. So this is not a particularly good keyword to target because there's a lot of unrelated stuff that also targets personal growth. So if I had more time, I'd go, and I will continue to develop this targeting list. It just takes time. So I'll go with personal goals next, leadership development, and I'll filter out the results and add the ones that are valid or relevant to my target list, my placement list. But for now, I got 105. And like I said, if I show you some of the links in here, you'll see that some of them have, thousands and thousands of views. So they get a lot of traffic. Now, before I build out that, I got one more thing I want to show you. YouTube channels. I spent a lot of time many weeks ago looking for YouTube channels that had to deal with specifically personal development, leadership, business success, motivation, that sort of thing. And I built this list out right here of YouTube channels, okay? And so I've got these YouTube channels ready to go to be able to extract any videos from them that are monetized, because these are themed channels. These are channels that are, basically fall within the particular niche that I'm targeting. So in doing my research today to build my targeting list for personal development, I found one particular channel kept returning videos that were showing up in those monetized video results, and that was actualized.org. If you guys want to see, Adam, I'm going to paste this. If you can copy this over, they can go take a look at the channel. This is the channel. This guy, he's very active. We'll go take a look at his channel real quick and go over to videos. This is actualized.org.
Hey, this is Leah.
And you can see he does videos often, 3 days ago, 1 week ago, 2 weeks ago. If you take a look at go on the channel video search, you come over and go to most popular and sort by most popular. Look at this one. This one has 1.6 million views. This one 800,000 views. This one 760,000 views. And this is a monetized channel. That's how this guy makes money, by the way, is because he runs ads in front of his videos and he gets a lot of money from his ad spend from advertising. So this guy gets a shit ton of views, and I saw a bunch of his videos kept showing up for personal development, personal growth keywords. All right, so what I did was I just took his channel, which I had already had added to my list, but I just took his channel URL and actually went into TubeSift, and if we go over to video search by channel, you can paste the channel URL in here and click search, set the results. I put it to 300. I click search. And what it does is it spits out all of the videos on that one specific channel that are monetized. that have monetization enabled. And so I was able to take this. This is, you can see my heading up here is actualized.org. These are all the videos from his channel that were monetized, and there's 214 of them. Okay, so this guy is one that I'm definitely going to target. This is going to be another. I'm going to set up a separate ad for this, but this will be a whole nother placement list right here that I'll be bidding to put videos to place my ads in front of his videos along with other advertisers. Does that make sense? So if you guys are curious, you can just click on any one of his videos. For example, we'll click on this one. That one does not have an ad, so that's an awful. Look at that. I don't want to repeat that. But let's click on this one. This one does have an ad. See? So basically, I'll be bidding with, in this case, Scion, to see if I can get added in front of there. So the reason why I'm showing this to you guys is because occasionally, if you're doing ads on YouTube, you'll be able to find channels that get a lot of traffic that have and that they make their money from their advertising. So those are great opportunities, especially channels like this one that gets a lot of traffic, because those are great opportunities. What can I do? What can I do with this? I can actually set up ads that are specific to that particular channel, use this as the placement list, and then can't I also increase my ad spend? Like, for example, most of my ads I put in is just my max bid is 0.25 or 25 cents per click. But for something like this that gets a shit ton of traffic and I'm competing against some bigger advertisers, if I can get, it's going to take testing just like all paid traffic does, but if I can set up some ads that start, and I can pay more per click. Let's say I go to 50 cents per click or 60 cents per click. That might seem like a lot, but if I can get the funnels fine-tuned to where those clicks are converting into opt-ins, then it would be worth paying more per click so that my ad is more likely to show up. Because I don't know what Scion's paying per click, but they might be paying more than 25 cents per click, which means I might not get my ad shown very often unless I up my click rate. Does that make sense? Hopefully you guys understand what I'm saying there. All right. So anyways, I just wanted to point that out. This is another placement list that I had built from that one particular channel. Now I can go through and do the same thing with every one of these channels, so that I can have basically a separate campaign for each channel if I want, set up a whole nother targeting list. All right, so back over here, let's go grab the targeting list from here. Let's go to placement, personal development, get links. I'm just going to copy this, click close, and I'll paste this in right here. And it's not a lot of URLs, guys, but they're, again, some of these are really, really high. Let's take a look at this one, for example. Yeah, see, this one's coming from actualized.org. Okay, so that's the same one we were just looking at. But this one's got 14,463 views. You see that? And Jeep's in front of it. So there's a chance that, like I said, I could get in front of this guy too. And so my point is that some of these videos have tens of thousands of views. All right. Okay, so with that said, let's go into AdWords and set up a new ad. Go to all video campaigns. I'm going to click on plus campaign, and we're going to call this one. I'm just going to call this PD for personal development. Let's see, we'll do personal development opt-in 1. Okay, before I go any further, I do want to share these links with you guys. I got a new opt-in page set up, and it looks similar to the other opt-in page I have. Adam, here, I'll paste this. We'll go take a look at that real quick. The opt-in page here on this one, I created it. It's the same opt-in page. I just cloned it inside of ClickFunnels, but I did a new video today, a new opt-in video, because the other one, remember guys, the other opt-in page that I had done was specific to goal setting and eliminating or stopping procrastination. So the messaging was all geared around those specifically. So all I did was I cloned the funnel inside of ClickFunnels, and then I created a new opt-in video using much of the same script as before, but the few opening lines of the script are specific messaging to personal development and achievement. Okay, so the idea there is if somebody clicks from the ad and then they land on this opt-in page, the messaging is specific to the ad or to what they were seeking, the information they were seeking originally when they did the YouTube search anyways. If that makes sense. So all I did was, basically guys, it took me about maybe 30 minutes to clone this funnel and then I drafted about 5 or 6 new text lines for the opening part of this video, and then I used the remaining. So I basically just rewrote the script, just the first like 5 lines of the script that I had already written for the previous funnel. So it was about, and that's what's great about, if you have these resources such as funnel creators and video easy. I'm using Easy Video Sales Letter. Easy VSL is the video or the thing that I use to create these videos, and it was really easy because I had pretty much everything. I always keep my scripts in text file, so I had my previous script, and all I did was open that up and I reworded I rewrote like the first 5 lines, and that was it. And so I was able to pretty much, and I had to re-record the audio, right, using the new script, and then I had to merge them together, which I did inside of Easy VSL. But all in all, I spent about maybe 30 minutes on this, and I've got an entire second funnel set up in about 30 minutes time, okay, that has very specific messaging to personal development keywords. All right, so if you guys want to look at that video, you certainly can. And then I've got the V-roll ad, which is going to be this one here. I created a new V-roll ad for that, so we can take a look at that as well. Oops. And here's the ad for you, Adam, if you want to post it. Okay, so again, guys, it's the same kind of ad that I've been using, and those work really, really well for getting PDF opt-ins. And so you can see it's just the same thing that I've done before, and then it's going to say click here to opt in or whatever. Click here to get this free training PDF. Okay, so you guys have seen these types of ads before. So, all right, we'll come back over and finish building this ad. All right, so I'm going to put budget $5. I usually do that just to start, and then I scale it back if needed. I'm going to select YouTube search and YouTube videos only, not the display network. However, since I am doing a in-display ad this time, I could do a display network if I wanted, but I want to keep this specific to YouTube for now. I have not done a whole lot of testing in the display network. I did earlier this year, and I lost a lot of money. So until I feel really comfortable inside YouTube stuff, AdWords, I'm not going to mess with that. Okay, I'm going to leave targeting English. My video ad is this. Okay, my display URL is going to be based on my opt-in page, which is going to be this. You guys, we walked through this part last week, so this should just be review. Okay. All right, so here's where we hadn't done before is we have. Oh shit! You know what? I might have to cancel this ad. Just a minute. Let me go. I gotta go log into there and upload the thumbnail image. So give me a moment. I don't do much in display stuff, guys, so bear with me for a minute. So the growth training PD opt-in, personal development opt-in, I'm going to go to edit, and I've got a thumbnail that I created for this. And let's see. Excuse me, I got to find it real quick. Where the hell is it? Four simple steps. Okay, that's what it is. Okay, here it is. All right, so I'm going to have to delete that other ad and start over on that. So now we just created that as the thumbnail image, and hopefully AdWords will pull that in. I'm going to cancel this. Cancel new campaign, and hopefully it will pull it in when I refresh the screen here in a moment. I've had that happen before, and it doesn't pull it in. So let's try it and see. PD opt-in 1. Shit, it didn't pull it in. Damn it. That's what I was afraid of. Unfortunately, unless I log in through another clear cache and cookies, it's, well, you know what? I can set it up. Basically what I want to do, guys, is I don't want this thumbnail showing as in display. Remember, in display ads, guys, if we come over to YouTube and we watch this, if we search for personal development. Okay, so in display ads are these right here. There's these two right here, Okay, and you can see I want a thumbnail. I don't want a thumbnail that's got the arrow pointing down to, hey, click here. It's clearly an ad. Although it says ad here, I want it, I want something that stands out that's going to entice the click. It's going to be compelling, right? And so, I created this very quickly today, but what I'll do is I'll end up having, my graphics guy create a couple thumbnail images that are really catchy. This is something that I put together just for the training today. But the idea here is when you have, and I forgot to do this, but you have to upload the image as the custom thumbnail first before you start creating the ad, because then it will give you the option to select that custom thumbnail as the image to be used in the ad. Unfortunately, I didn't do that today, so it's not showing it in here. So for now, I'm still going to run through setting it up, because there's no difference in setting up the ad other than you just want to select that particular image when it shows. So I'll set this up, then I'll delete the ad, and I'll come back and redo it again later so that I can select that thumbnail, if that makes sense. But the headline here would be something like, achieve. Shit. I hate how they're so short, but I'm going to say let's achieve success now, something like that. Okay, again, this is just for demonstration purposes right now. The description one is learn 4 steps to, and I'll do better with the copy. I'll share the ad with you guys next week. Let's learn 4 steps to damn it, 1 over. Learn 4 steps to achieving more, maybe. Watch this video to find out how, something like that. Call to action. Watch this video to find out how. Now, here's what I wanted to point out with this. Where do you want somebody to click on an in-display ad to go? Okay, because this is not the same as an in-stream ad, which the in-stream ad I would be sending them to my opt-in page, right? Which the opt-in page is the opt-in page that I just shared with you guys, which I need to add that in here anyways. But if somebody clicks on the in-stream ad, it's going to take them directly to my opt-in page, and I'm going to, hopefully get them to opt in. But for an in-display ad, you don't have that option. Okay, you only have these 2 options, which are: do you want them to go to your channel page on YouTube when they click the ad, or do you want them to go to the videos watch page? Okay, and in this case, in fact, you know what? This actually this wouldn't work anyways. I'd have to set up another ad anyways. So let's do this. The reason why is because this is actually going to pull in the ad for the ad video. That's not what I wanted. What I wanted for the ad is if somebody clicks on the ad, I want them to go to the videos watch page, but I want them to go to this video, this one, which is the actual sales video that I did, or the opt-in video. So let me go back to my channel real quick. So you guys can see I haven't done a whole lot of in-display ads, but this one here, which is this one. So I want them to come to here. And what I need to do on this ad, or on this, because this is an ad, remember, this is the opt-in video. So basically I want them to come to this video, or I'd have to craft another video, right, to create another video that gives them a call to action within the text, or the, in the audio and in the text, saying, hey, click on the link below to go get this free PDF, blah, blah, blah. Or I can take what I already did that's on the opt-in page, and I can just do an external annotation. And I have that in the notes to cover that today, and that's what we'll do, because unfortunately I can't use a V-roll ad, I can't use a V-roll ad for both the in-stream and in-display, because otherwise all that somebody's going to do when they click on the ad is it's going to take them to the V-roll ad, which doesn't really make much sense, does it? I mean, I guess it could if I put an external annotation in the same location that the ad would have been showing, and I still can do that, but I think it would make better sense to actually run them to the opt-in video and then put an external annotation in there. So let me cover that real quick, and then we'll come back and finish setting this up. In fact, we could still set this up with the external annotation using the V-roll ad. I just don't think that one would convert very well from an in-display. You guys get it? These are designed to be in-stream ads, not in-display, which means if somebody clicks on it, it's going to bring them back to the watch page. The reason there's two options here for this is where do you want to drive the traffic? Now, for example, if we go back to the actualized channel, which we were just on a minute ago, let's go click on this. If we click on his channel, this is the channel page. All right, so what he has here is he has a video, unless you're subscribed, there's a video that auto plays when you land on the channel page. And so a lot of the times over here there will be a call to action and an opt-in, a link to an opt-in page. So do you want, that's what this is asking for. Do you want to drive people back to the channel page, which if you have that your channel set up correctly, it can be used as kind of a call to action to go to your opt-in page, or go directly to the YouTube watch page, which means when they click on it, it goes to that video that you've added up here, okay, as your ad, which is right here, okay? Just so you guys understand that. Typically, I always send them back to the video's watch page, not to the channel page, all right? But let's go back through here and set up the external annotation on this real quick, and then we'll actually go back and finish adding that. So with external annotations, for those of you that do not remember, this was covered way, way earlier in the YouTube optimization, like in the very beginning of the master class. This was covered in the first few weeks. But I will walk through where to do that again right here. So you want to go over to Channel and go to Advanced, okay? And then from here you can see where it says Associated Website. This is where you add an associated website. What you need to do first is go make sure that when you're logged into the same Google account that you're logged into for your channel, go to Google Webmaster Tools, or what's called Search Console now, and add your associated website there. So you're going to get the HTML code to add to the header of the site, to verify it and all that. Once you've done that, then you come back over to YouTube and you add that associated website URL here and click Verify, and it will say Success, because it's been added to Google Webmaster Tools. Now that's going to enable or allow you to be able to add external annotations to that domain, which means clickable links within the video to that domain. Okay? So for that, I'm going to come back over here and go to Video Manager. And we're going to go to Growth Training Personal Development here. I'm going to click on Edit. I want to go to Annotations. I'm going to pause it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the link somewhere on this video. So I'm going to say, let's just say add annotation. Let's find a good spot to put it. You have the burning desire to make. Excuse me, let me mute that. We'll find a good spot to put this. I don't want to put it as soon as somebody lands on the page. So what I want to do is wait until I mention the product title. All right, almost. Okay, right here is where it says click the button below. So that's my call to action. So now I'm going to put an external annotation right here. Okay, so I'm going to click on Add Annotation. And this is only good for desktop, guys. You're supposed to be able to use YouTube cards for mobile. We'll have to set that up maybe next week, or we'll go over that another time. But for right now, we're just going to set up the external annotation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a note, and I'm going to say, click here to get the free guide. Okay, and then I'm going to move that down here. I'm going to make it bigger. I'm going to make it stand out a little bit. See if we can make it even bigger. Okay, so that's going to say click here to get the free guide. We can make the background a little bit darker, because against the light background it'll stand out a little bit more. And that looks pretty good to me. Then we're going to click on the link button here, and from here on the drop down we're going to select associated website, and now we're going to paste the URL into the opt-in page. This is what I was talking about on Hump Day Hangouts earlier today, guys. For those of you that were there, is I used to actually use redirect plugins to be able to put whatever link I wanted to. It would be a link from my own domain because of the associated website, but I would use a redirect plugin to basically forward the click to anywhere I wanted. However, Google or YouTube will actually terminate your account without even a warning if they find out that you do that. It requires a manual review, but somebody could report you, or if you just happen to be in the list of properties to be manually reviewed, which happens from time to time, and they catch you, then that's it. Your channel's done. So I don't recommend doing that at all anymore. Instead, use a bridge page, which basically, like, my opt-in page could be considered a bridge page if I had an affiliate offer on there. You know what I mean? So you're driving traffic back to your own domain first, and then there would be another call to action to click, which would take to an affiliate offer or wherever the destination may be. Hopefully you guys get that. So anyways, there's my external annotation. My link has been added. I'm going to drag this out so that it goes throughout the rest of the video. There's at the end. Yeah, that's fine. We can leave it there. So I'm going to drag that all the way for the entire duration of the video, and I'm going to click Apply Changes. Okay, it should be saved. And now if we go refresh and take a look at that, we should be able to see that external annotation right here. Okay, and that's nice and big. And although this is also going to show on the video, what I could do is actually duplicate this video, change the file slightly, and then have so that I'd have one separate video that doesn't have the annotation actually on the opt-in page. Because now it will show here as well, but I really don't care because to me it doesn't matter. But what I'm just saying is I could actually create another copy of it, and so that the annotation doesn't show on this page. I could just create another version of it that doesn't have the annotation, if that makes sense. But honestly, I don't care. It's good enough as far as I'm concerned. So now that's done. Now we can do the same thing with the other ad. Let's just go ahead and do it so that we can at least set that up. So this is the growth training PDF opt-in the V-roll ad. I'm going to click edit. We're going to just run through that same process again, guys. I'm going to go to annotations. And what I'm going to do is pull this one all the way to the end where it says click here, and I'm going to put the annotation right there. Okay, right there. Add annotation. I'm going to say note. All right, I'm going to select link, associated website, paste the URL. I'm going to drag that down to here. It might be a little bit bigger than it should be, so I might have to make it a little bit smaller. No, that's not bad. That's good enough. All right, so I'm just going to drag that to the end. Click Save. Apply changes. And now we'll go ahead and just use this V-roll ad after all as part of this ad. It's fine. That way I can just get it set up. So now we're going to save this video's watch page. So what happens again, guys, remember, if somebody clicks on this ad now, I don't like this thumbnail, I'm going to delete this and redo it again, but just for the demonstrations purposes, because I want the thumbnail that I want to show. Does that make sense? But for now, I'm just going to go ahead and leave it there. If somebody clicks on this ad now, it's going to actually bring them to this watch page. Let's go back to Video Manager. And it's going to actually take them to this watch page, which means I should also retitle it if that were the case. If I was going to keep this, I would retitle it so that it had a better title, and then I would also put in the description the actual link over to the opt-in page too, right? That would be probably the only thing I had in there, would be just the link over to the opt-in page. But now they'll land on this, and then once it gets to this point, they're going to have this clickable annotation here with the call to action that points to it. So I guess a V-roll ad could be used for an in-display. I don't think it would work that well, but I don't know. Maybe I'll leave it up to test it. That said, we're going to go ahead and run this and say ad name. Let's just say V-roll. V-roll opt-in. Okay, so now that that's done, ad delivery, this is where, oh, by the way, this is where we talked about before. If you're doing both, then you can have the ad rotation set up optimized for views, show ads expected to provide more views, or optimized for conversions, show ads expected to provide more conversions, or rotate evenly. So I obviously would want more conversions than anything, but I'd rarely have an ad that's set up that's being dual purposed as both. In the past, I've either set up just an in-display ad or just in-stream, so this is irrelevant. It doesn't make any difference. In this case, without testing, I'm really not sure which is better, so I'm just going to leave it as rotate evenly for now. I would come back, if I leave this ad up, I would come back and monitor results after 3 days, and then possibly change it, and then monitor results after another 3 days. Does that make sense? So every 3 days I would change it, and then go back and compare all 9 days to see which one actually provided the best results, and then I would leave it to that, whichever one provided the best results, if that makes sense. Lastly, frequency capping. This is where I say, if somebody's seen this 3 times and they still haven't clicked on it in a 24-hour period, stop showing it to them. Okay, so I'm going to click Save and Continue. Okay, so the targeting group, I'm just going to say personal development placements, because we're just going to use placement list for now. Max cost per view, 0.25. And I'm going to get rid of 18 to 24-year-olds because they never spend any money. They're cheap. They're broke. That's what it is. And then we're going to go to placements, and we're going to grab my placement list. Click Add All. Now those are all done. We'll click Done. And then Save Targeting Group. So there you have it. Now what I'll do, like I said, is I'll end up coming back and adding another one as a in-display ad only using this video, now that I have the external annotation put on it, and the thumbnail's already loaded for that. So I'll go back and add that. I'll share it with you guys next week. I'll share you the links to it next week so you guys can actually see the finished product. This one didn't work out quite as well as I had planned, but you know, like I said, the V-roll ads, I'm almost anxious to test it to see if they will work as in-display ads. That's not really what they're designed for, but who knows? It might work because of that arrow. You can still put that external annotation link in the bottom left corner. I'm curious, though, if that would interfere, and again, this is without testing, I wonder if that would interfere with the actual link when it's being used as an in-display, because it's still going to show that annotation. Does that make sense? That's why I'm not sure that I want to use it for that, but I'll leave it up just to see if it works. So is there any questions about that, Adam?
No, not about that in particular.
Okay. Let's see what else we had. Okay, so we did the in-stream and the in-display today, guys. So just remember, again, as I just showed you, I had forgot that for in-display ads, it's not typically, you're going to want to remember that you're going to be driving the traffic either to your channel page or directly to the YouTube watch page. You don't have the option to send them to another link. Okay, it's going to be one of those two. So you want to make sure that the video that you're using for an in-display ad is the video that you want them to see. So put your calls to action in the video is my point. Okay, and so and that's what you're going to, and make sure, like I said, that you have the thumbnail that you want to use to show up in the in-display. You want that thumbnail to be what the custom thumbnail that you're going to select. Make sure you already have that uploaded to the video, because otherwise, when you post the URL and it pulls the ad in or the video in, it won't give you the option to select it. So just make sure that it's already uploaded. All right. Next thing, got a couple content ideas I was going to share with you guys. Something that I thought was really cool. All right. So Think and Grow Rich, guys. I don't know if you're familiar with Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill wrote a book called Think and Grow Rich, among many others that he wrote, but he was kind of a guy that studied successful businessmen and the people that had achieved the most in business and in life from back in the 30s, the 20s, 30s, 40s. That he's way back in that era. But I'm sure most of you have heard of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. But what's great about it is, I mean, it's a classic and it's a great book. It's like one of those must-reads if you're an entrepreneur. And I've read it multiple times. Well, Think and Grow Rich is in the public domain, which means it's basically you don't have to purchase it. You can share it. You can download it. You can share it freely. There's not copyright issues. You're not supposed to change or alter the text, but you can reshare it and all that kind of stuff. Use it on your own website, whatever you want. And so I actually downloaded a copy of it as a PDF today, and I'm going to use that. I'm going to do a blog post about Think and Grow Rich because it is one of the greats. I think it's something that should be in everybody's library that is an entrepreneur or in business or has any sort of dream. Period. They should read Think and Grow Rich. And so I'm going to do a review on that, and then there will be a link to download the free PDF, because I basically just downloaded the text and created a PDF. And then I'm going to have that as a download link on that blog post. Now, this isn't something that I'm going to use to really try to generate revenue, other than just to be sharing additional content with my list, right? Because I'm building this list that I have now, 50 people on or whatever, 55 people. And by the way, last week I said for next week I was going to have a few different emails added, and I have. If we go take a look at Manage Autoresponders, let's go take a look at that real quick. Switch to that campaign. You'll see that now I've only got the initial email. Come on. I've got the initial email that goes out with the download, the free download. Then I have the Eat the Frog, which just directs people back to that blog post. And then I've got them scheduled out so every other day. The next one was the 10x rule, and the next one was the slight edge. So I got those drafted, and those go out. But I want to add some other stuff in there where I'm not necessarily promoting another product, right? I want to give information, right? I just want to give value. And so Think and Grow Rich is one of them. Now, on that same product or on the same page where I give a review and a link to download the PDF of the full text, it's the full text version of the book, I can also put a link from Amazon to purchase there's an updated version of it that was revised and made current. So there's an updated version. You can buy it for like $9 for Kindle. You can buy it, I think, for $1. But I can still probably make a few dollars, a little bit of money off of this by directing people to purchase the updated and revised edition. And there's also download an audio edition. I don't have the product page open, but there's an audio edition too that you can download as an MP3, and it costs $9 and some change. So essentially on that page I can say, hey, here's the PDF. This is a great product. This is a must-have that every one of you guys should be reading. If you're an entrepreneur or you have any kind of goals in life, period, you should read this book. It's outstanding. It's a classic, blah, blah, blah. By the way, you can download the free PDF below, which is the full text version, the original version of the book, written in 47 or whatever the hell it was. Or you can click on the link below to purchase the revised edition. It's cheap. Or you can click on the link to download the MP3 version, the audio version, so that you can listen to it in the car. Either way, there's a chance I can make a little bit of money off of it. Although the true intent of really sharing that is just because, once again, it's one of those things that I think everybody should have. So hopefully that makes sense. It's going to be kind of like a value-added thing that I'm adding. I got the PDF. I just haven't uploaded it and created the review post for it yet. Next, in doing my research today for my placement lists, I happened to come across a Tony Robbins interview that he did with Frank Kern and John Reese. I'm going to share that with you guys in just a moment. It's about 38 minutes long and is outstanding. It is outstanding. You guys all know who Frank Kern is, I'm sure, right? One of the big internet marketing greats, and everybody knows who Tony Robbins is. But this was an interview, Tony interviewing them, and or actually it wasn't even really an interview. It was just more or less a discussion that he was having with them. And it is absolutely fantastic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to embed that video into a blog post and just put my own notes underneath of it. I'm going to use somebody else's video. It's actually from Tony Robbins' channel, and he's got an external annotation in the video that clicks over to his site where he sells, his products. Now, I reached out to them today to see if they have an affiliate program. I'm waiting for a reply back, because Tony Robbins has some, high ticket stuff. It would be nice to have to be able to be an affiliate for them. They don't have anything listed on their website about affiliate programs, so I had to contact them. But it's such a good interview or such a good video that I don't care if it's got an external annotation over to his own product thing that I don't make any money on. It's a value added that I can add to my subscribers and add to my blog, because it's so good. The content is so damn good in this 38-minute video. I don't care if some of the traffic leaves my site to go over to him, because if I introduce it to people, they're going to remember, oh yeah, growth training. Oh, I saw this great video by Tony Robbins. It was on the growth training blog. So maybe they'll come back. And if they're on my list anyways, they're going to hear from me again anyways. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. It doesn't always have to be your own content, is my point. And in this case, it's really good. So let me grab the URL. And you guys, if you have 38 minutes, or not if you have, make 38 minutes available and go watch this video. It really is outstanding. It's one of the best videos I've seen in a while about like mindset and how you break through barriers, in business and everything else, and how so many people fail because they just don't believe in themselves. And it's a great video, guys. So take 38 minutes and watch it. That said, for next week, I hope to have both of those added to the blog and added into the email sequence. Because right now, like I said, if I put those two in, I'll put the thing in about Think and Grow Rich, which will be like, hey, here's my gift to you. You can download the PDF for free. And then also here's another thing, great interview about mindset and believing in yourself and being able to accomplish any goal that you set your mind to, blah, blah, blah. Here's a great link to that, and that'll go over to my blog as well. So hopefully for next week I'll have both of those done, as well as I'll share the finalized ads with you guys. I'm going to go back through and polish those up a little bit. And then next week I want to talk about some Twitter stuff that we're going to be using for driving traffic. We haven't had a chance to talk about it much. I think we've done YouTube ads pretty good for the last couple weeks. I want to get into doing some traffic via other methods using social media, and we're probably going to do some SEO traffic stuff, guys. Maybe not next week because we're going to focus on Twitter stuff next week, but I'm probably going to set up some organic SEO campaigns, YouTube campaigns, where I'm going to start trying to drive some traffic that way as well, so we can get back to some SEO stuff. Okay? And then eventually I'm going to finish reviewing 100 Ways to Stay Motivated. I'm still not 100% through it. I know I'm not going to give it a great review, though. I think it's way overpriced. And I think I've shared that with you guys before. So we're right at the 6 o'clock mark. Do we have any questions, Adam?
Yeah, we do. Dan was asking about, thank you, Dan. He said, if you get to random questions, where would one be best to start with all this information that's now in the mastermind? He's already gone through the IFTTT training as well as implementing the silo stuff. So I will say, one, we're working on getting a better layout together so it's easier to navigate. But beyond that, I would say do what you're doing. You're here on the master class, so I would go back, and if there's sections of the master class you want to pick apart, and then beyond that, start asking questions in the mastermind.
Yeah, Dan, you can ask questions direct in the mastermind. I see one from Joe asking about Power Suggest Pro. Is it working just as well? I know what you're talking about, Joe, because of the API. Google said that they were going to get rid of the Suggest API, but I found that this never skipped a beat. So, like, if we look at, I'm looking at Google now instead of YouTube, but if I look at personal development, and I've got it set on recursive search, right? So, whoops. I know we're out of time, guys, for just a second. If I click search, watch how quick this thing spits out keywords, Joe. I mean, look at this. That's why I love this tool, because it's just so damn fast, and it finds these long tail phrases that absolutely have traffic, or else they wouldn't be, and suggest. And so, it never slowed down or skipped a beat. I don't know why, how he's accessing this data if he's not accessing through the API, but I don't care. It's still working. Okay.
Good deal. All right. Well, I think that's it.
Okay. Is that it? Really?
Yep.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, guys. Well, hey, everybody, thanks for being here. We'll have a lot to go through next week for Twitter stuff, which will be different on how to drive traffic with Twitter. This is based on some of the training that we're coming out with for the Twitter SEO Academy. It's not going to be all of it, Marco. Relax.
No, and just so you know, it will be ready by the public release of RYS on Tuesday.
Okay.
Cool. So I just talked to Gary, so yes, it will be ready.
Awesome. So guys, look forward to that, and then we'll go over some SEO stuff probably the following week, and then we'll try to wrap this out. By the way, guys, think about some ideas for launch jacking case studies that you guys want to see. Like honestly, I'd love to hear some ideas from you guys as to what you might want to see as a launch jacking case study, because that's what's next. We're going to finish out this affiliate. I'm going to continue working on this affiliate campaign because I really do have a passion for this particular thing. But so I'll give updates as we go. But I really want to start another case study within probably the next 2 to 3 weeks. It'll be a launch jacking case study, and I'd like to get some ideas from you guys as to what you want to see. So keep that in mind. All right. Okay, everybody. Thanks for being here. We'll see you next week. Thanks, guys.
Bye.